morning.
Hello, are we on? I'm Mindy Hahn. Good morning to you. Welcome to more morning steam for a Thursday with the Midwest Premier Sports Handicapper Mindy Hahn. I'm Ramon Scott. Good morning, Mindy. Yes, it is. We continue to do pretty well right now. We're hot. We're hot.
That's right. It's a good time to be hot going into the weekend here. Lots of college football, lots of NFL. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's what we're going to mostly cover today. Of course, we're going to we could pretend to have a Major League Baseball card, but everything's settled, and we're going to get ready for those playoff games starting early tomorrow, no doubt about it. And well, the season ended kind of anticlimactically yesterday. I don't know if we want to run over it too much because I want to talk more about the playoffs. But today we're kind of focused. We're football centric, I guess, today because of uh, we got the the Thursday night game tonight, and uh, big NFL card. We're going to start to preview it here. We're going to preview all the Sunday early games, and we're also going to look at another group of college games on the card today. So, hope that's okay with everybody. I'll throw in a few plays today in NHL preseason where I don't know. I think I've hit them all this week.
I think so.
And also an NBA preseason pick as well, where I hit my premium pick yesterday. And let's head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and maybe we can take a look and see who's hot. And we'll
Who's
ignore.
not?
Yeah, well, we'll ignore who's not. That's not very well. That's not very fun. But look at the last 7 days, Mindy. The team here, you and I, the morning steam team, as Tony likes to call it. We're up basically 1,041, 10 full units with a winning percentage of 667 over the last 7 days, Mindy. What is it about us doing this show, putting our picks together, just blurting them out with our handicaps, of course, but are we on to something here?
I think we are onto something. We pick our very best bets and we put them on our personal site. And then we go through the card with each individual game minus our premium picks. And we go through and I think find, the spots where we were maybe just a little bit unsure, individually. But once we put our minds together, we can agree on just the right picks. And I think that's what it's kind of coming down to here as of late. Just finding the right spots to come in and play where we both agree on these plays. Because that's the main thing, is to gain some consensus. That's what you're doing by watching our show. You're doing your due diligence. We're putting all of our sports information out. And again, handicappers, it's basically finding just the right games, just the right plays that Vegas missed. So that's our job, and we're here to help you make some cash along the way.
Well, call us crazy, but we played 6 games on the final game of the final day of the Major League Baseball season, and went 4-2. We laid a lot of chalk, but you look at what happened on the whole day as a whole, and the favorites kind of took care of business. I don't know. That's kind of the way I was saying it was going to roll at the end of the season here, because you have the lesser teams not as motivated, even when it comes to non-playoff teams. We had wins in there with teams like Pittsburgh, Baltimore in that first game of the doubleheader, Boston beating a playoff team, the Cubs continuing their role.
Geez, I guess.
So, yeah, the Cubs. I mean, they're just as hot as any of the playoff teams right now, or they were, because their season's over. And of course, the college game, Mindy. I thought we kind of nailed that one pretty good. I think we nailed that one real good.
I think so too.
got a little scary for me on my premium with the under, but I don't know if it was really ever in question, as it was trending under all game, and then got a little close, and
yeah, because they just got hot there at the end.
Yeah, and you could see it coming too, because of Central Florida. Once they kind of assumed the lead, got the lead, every time SMU tried to catch in scoring range, they weren't. There was that big 4th down stop that kind of that kind of turned the game in Central Florida's winning favor. I thought yesterday, and not that I don't think SMU is an awful team, but I just think they were in a tough situation there against a Central Florida team who's kind of found their footing again.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I think they got to be too strong, too fast there for the end. They kind of wore them down, and then you get emotionally worn down too. I mean, when you're really close at halftime, then suddenly you're 2, 3 scores down. It's hard for any of those teams to kind of come back from that. Also,
So follow us here on the show, The Morning Steam. And Mindy and I are going to go through the card for some NFL and some college football and give our plays out. If we end up with some consensus plays like we did yesterday, where there you see the 5-2, and I had a 3-1 day. Nick continues to be hot, and Sam had a good day as well. So some good numbers by the team over there. I think most impressively, Mindy, if you look at our site, though, look at what the team has done here. Talking about all of the
yeah,
handicappers on the site this week for the last 7 days. You've got 8 of the 10 handicappers are in
yeah,
the green.
right.
So um, real strong performance right now by everyone this week at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, you can look at the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper that fits your game. Don't forget to use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. And Mindy, I'm sure you'll have some. I don't know if you will. Well, the NFL game, maybe.
Yes,
I don't know. Maybe
yes.
the
I'm gonna
morning
be in on the
steam will
NFL
shake
game here
out.
today.
Okay, well, maybe we'll be in it together. Who knows? We'll see what goes on there. So look for Mindy. She'll have a package today. I'll have a package as well. I think I do like the side and total. So we'll see what you have
I like
coming
both the
up.
side and total too, but so hopefully we're on the same side and total because we've been kind of a little bit at odds here on these Thursday night games here so far this season.
Yeah, well, today's game's kind of I don't know. We'll talk about it. So, anyways, just take a look at our handicapper leaderboard over there at Tony's Picks. Look how good we're doing right now. Uh, click on a package to get signed up. Like I said, if you miss our show here on the morning steam and you still want those picks that are up 10 units for the week, uh, if you miss the show, it's all free here with Mindy and I, but you can throw us a bone if you will, or just make sure you don't have to do the work on YouTube. Look through the tabs and
Right.
scroll and through the uh, scroll bar and stuff like that. And you can pick up the plays just for a small fee, if you will. I don't know how else to describe it.
A tip.
Yeah, perfect. All right, we'll get into the show. I want to welcome everybody to the show, Crush Diamonds, and everyone else joining us in the chat. Like I said, we're going to go NFL and college football. Uh, if anything, it's a little bit of a breather before the baseball playoffs begin tomorrow, and there is 6 games on the NHL card tonight on the preseason card, and 4 games in the NBA preseason. It's a huge EuroLeague game schedule in soccer. Don't forget to check out Paul Lagaretos and his show at 2:15 Eastern, 11:15 Pacific. There's a massive Europa League competition today for the most part. More so than the Champions League for sure. So we're going to start with NFL, and we're going to go then to college. Unless you want to I don't know, Mindy. I don't think there's anything to talk about necessarily with that baseball yesterday. Glad it's over. We'll miss you, baseball.
Yeah, again, that way it gives Tony a breather too. I know he always is like September is just so hard. There's so much going on, which is true. So yeah, we're excited to move on a little bit from the daily grind of the baseball.
But he finished as the #1 baseball
We did.
handicapper on the site. So great job by Tony. All right, we're going to get into free picks rapid fire, talking about football, and more football. And Crush Diamond says he was happy for Aaron Judge to get the big home run.
And then got the day off yesterday. That was even, I think, more special.
Yeah, I think if anything about the baseball, I think we've had a good foreshadowing of what teams were going to do, and maybe that helped lead to some of our success. I also did well on my
Yeah,
baseball
because you were against the Yankees because they were sitting everyone.
as well. So,
Yep, had the Rangers.
all right, go to the NFL and get it started on the free picks rapid fire as we start with tonight's game. And well, you can get into it a little bit, Mindy, but uh, and I'll add my 2 cents as well. But the Colts and the Broncos tonight looks like a pretty decent game if you just look at the overall schedule. But these two teams are not exactly at their peak right now.
Yeah. Oh boy, the Colts and Broncos. Both of these teams are 1-3 against the spread this season. The struggles just kind of tend to continue here with these teams. Ryan, he's not a very mobile guy. Has 9 fumbles thus far, only completing 66.2%
In
of his.
pre-game and in just a couple of games, he fumbles all the time.
He does. It's terrible. I mean, again, I'm not like I have never been a big Matt Ryan fan all the way back from the Boston College days, even though, back then I used to kind of root for him and Julio to, hook up. It was fun to watch a couple, but I mean, I would not have expected the Colts at this time of the season to only be rushing for about 87 yards per game. And then we find out that, Taylor's not just questionable, he's totally out now.
Yeah.
So then it kind of even looks a little bit more grim for this Broncos rushing team, too. I mean, Melvin Gordon had a whole 8 yards last week. And now come to find out, that they also have a running back here out for the season. It's going to be rough, I think. Then you have Russell Wilson. He's dealing with the sore shoulder. Again, he's doing worse than Matt Ryan, completing only 61% of his passes. I just think it's going to be, I don't know, interesting game. Should I say that? I'm looking towards the under here, under 42.
I'll agree with you, and we'll take a premium on this one. We'll take a consensus play on the under. I mean, the one thing that does concern me is that because of these running back injuries, that maybe will. And look, these guys aren't going to be afraid to pass the ball, right?
Right.
Uh, with Russell, he's still going to find ways to try to get his receivers involved. And now, if indeed, I don't know, everybody says they want uh, the Broncos running. You mentioned Taylor, of course. I mean, that's a big concern. Now, granted, he did not have the game that Henry did. I hyped that game up, and he still had a crummy game. He had he ran hard, but they really kind of stuffed him. And the Broncos, do they really want to run Lindley out of town? Man, that's really tough. So I think that they might have to rely on more passing, but it's still a relatively easy number. I don't know if it's an easy number to get, but 42, down from an opener of about 44, or a look ahead at least of 44. So it could be close to that number in the end, just because these two teams want to pass. But man, the Colts just aren't getting much done at all. They're woeful against the spread. But I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. So we have the consensus tonight on that game. I do think under is probably the better play than the side. So I'll agree and take the under with the Colts and the Broncos. Not having that balance. Maybe the Colts can get other running. Other than Taylor, but man, he's still. Even though maybe he's not as strong right now as he was, but he's still a guy that you can count on, and not having him in the lineup's got to be a pretty costly. It's going to, I think, take away any balance that the Colts might have in this one. Like I said, I think both teams may end up taking to the air more, which worries me somewhat. But I just feel like it is an under situation here because the offenses have been so bad. You mentioned his 9 fumbles. I think he's only lost 3 of them, but that's not the point, right? I mean, you're
Right.
supposed to hang on to that ball. So All right, that's it for Thursday night football. I'd like to see your comments in the chat. If you have a play tonight on the Colts and the Broncos, we'd love to see it. But for Mindy and I, we're going to agree to go on the under
Consensus play.
consensus, right? We're hot, so I
That's
guess
right.
it's going. I guess it's going under. All right, let's take a look. Get ready to take a look now at the Sunday card, starting with the game over across the pond with the Packers and the Giants. Obviously, Packers getting a lot of attention here. I don't know if they're too worthy of an 8-point favorite. I mean, the Giants, they've been off to an okay start, but this total has dropped significantly, and I'm not sure that it should. I mean, I definitely like it, you know, off of any look ahead numbers that were in the mid 40s, but boy, it's really really dropped, and obviously the Giants have some issues coming in.
Yeah, but yeah, both of these teams are 3-1 coming into this game, and of course, we have to take a look at the quarterback situation with Jones' ankle sprain. It does look like he is going to be able to play, so that's good for the Giants.
Is it?
Uh,
No, I'm scared. I kid you. I kid
well,
you.
I mean, based off of you now have what Tyrod Taylor out, so you're looking at like a third strings quarterback.
Right.
I
Right.
think it's a better situation than what they could be up against here. But they're 10th in team defense, so not terrible. But yeah, they're 28th against the run. So I mean, I think that means that the Packers are going to give them a big dose of Jones and Dillon. They have the 7th ranked, best rushing offense. I just think this is going to be a big time run game. I think we're going to look at, Saquon as well. I still think, though, the Giants are going to be able to put up a couple scores in this game. So maybe it's kind of what you were talking about. I'm looking for an over the total of 41 here in this one.
Yeah, Mindy. Now we can actually start to look at some data, maybe to the. I mean, they've been playing games over there for quite a while. For many years now, really. But how about this to help your handicap a little bit? Maybe you included it, maybe you didn't. But so far, games played in Tottenham Stadium have gone 5-1 to the over with an average of 50 points, and they play on that artificial turf. So this one's gone, way, way lower here. Like I said, I mean, I respected the number a little more at 45 and a half. I mean, look, I know I talked Dobbs up last week. Maybe he didn't have the game that I was touting him for. He still looks pretty good. I think he has a connection with Rodgers there. I think I like that. So I think I'm going to agree with you again. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go over in the game with the Giants and the Packers. I think more on the Packers side. Look, it's kind of a runaway spread a little bit. I don't know if I even like it necessarily at 8 now. I'd start to lean back towards the Giants. I think in this one, I don't think the Packers are championship quality yet. They're obviously going to be super popular on the teasers this week now that it's reached 8 points. I mean,
Right.
Everyone's talking about that Green Bay, Tampa Bay teaser this week. The bookies are going to be rooting mightily for that to go down, but I do want to go over as well. Look, when I penned it out at the beginning of the week, I mean, I probably would willing to go under the bigger number, but not at 41. I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to be the case. So let's have another consensus play here.
Consensus play.
Go over, yeah. And Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is known for high-scoring NFL games.
At least
All right,
the fans get what they want, right? They want some scoring.
it's cool how most people we look at
Any
the
jersey.
fans in the stands, everyone's got a different jersey on. You really don't see that anywhere, with home teams
Just
and
fans
everything.
of the
But
game. That's right.
yeah, you just watch that and I was like, all the teams are represented. Okay, let's start to get in now. We're going to look at the 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific games. There are 9 of them, and we're going to take a look at every one of them. And we'll
Right, here we
start
go.
with the Seahawks and the Saints. This one's moved. Is that right? This one's moved considerably higher. I get it. With Gino the Great. I don't know. It's gone a little bit high maybe for me. The Saints also a 6-point favorite here. The total 46.
Yeah, so it kind of seems like the Saints are still kind of unsure who their starter is going to be. But I think, Winston and Dalton, I think they're pretty similar quarterbacks for the most part. So that really doesn't really impact my handicapping much on this. Both of those, two quarterbacks tend to turn over the ball 1 to 2 times a game. So you just kind of, basically put that into everything. And then I think, Ramon, you kind of had, Gino pegged all along. Maybe I wasn't quite the believer there in the beginning, but he has been one of the most productive and efficient quarterbacks here this season. Like I talked about, I benched Brady for Gino last week in fantasy and came out ahead with him. So, he's still really starting, I think, to pay off for this Seattle team, even though it maybe didn't look like it on paper at the beginning of the year. New Orleans, they're -7 in the turnover battle this season, and then you have a Seattle team that's already taken the ball away over 6 times this year. And then it looks like maybe Penny's catching a little bit of stride also. And the Seattle team, they're really not making any offensive mistakes. But then you really have them that, they're one of the worst teams in the NFL for giving up the long ball. I'm still going to go ahead and stay with a hot Seattle team. They're 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 in this meeting. I'm going to take the Seahawks at +6.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that necessarily. Seattle's been, pretty good to me so far, I'd say. Anybody that is winning, that's what I look at, right? Who's making us money sometimes? That's the way I look at quarterbacks. And that's why I end up with rooting for guys like Jimmy G and Gino. I mean, guys that just get it done somehow. So this total shot up big time, and I get it. The way Gino looked. Mindy, we could have. No disrespect to Tony and the GM, but if we would have just played all the Seahawks and Lions in daily fantasy last week, we'd be off on a desert island, cellar, a tropical island, partying at this point with $1 million. But who saw that coming
Right.
necessarily? So I think this total's just gone up a little bit too high, and I think the Saints can bring a little bit of defense here. Look, Seattle's been nice; they've been impressive a little bit on offense. I like Penny. He's a San Diego State guy. I like him, but again, he's been. I mean, how many times has this guy resurrected his career? Right? I mean, 2 or 3 times. It seems like he's fallen out of favor in Seattle. He's been hurt in Seattle. Now he's back. They've always had that kind of loop of running backs because they have never really had one. So I'm going to go under in this one with Seattle and New Orleans. I just think that number's gotten a little bit too high. I think the public is, not necessarily, I won't say wrong in pushing up this total, but now I'm ready to come back in on the under.
And that's one of those things too that you don't know if they're having the London hangover as well. I mean, we've talked about that. I guess with the Saints also.
Yeah, interesting point there, certainly. And they talked about they used to give the teams coming out of the overseas games or the big travel games the week off, but what was happening was the players, didn't like having that because they were using their week off to kind of get reacclimated, and they felt like they had kind of lost the week off. So they just want to. The teams have kind of said, "Let's not do that. Let's get right back to work. When we get our bye, we want a full bye,
Legitimate bye." Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Okay, so we're on different picks there, but not opposite. All right, the Texans are going to take on the favorites to win the Super Bowl, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Impressive. They've been fun. they've been one of the nice stories so far in the league. Maybe they could surprise. Maybe they could sneak in and contend for this division. Who knows? But boy, they're getting a lot of respect now from the public. Look, the Texans aren't off to a great start, but the Jaguars are laying 7. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans are the lone winless team, but they do have a tie, so don't count them out. They just, I think, just really kind of tend to just find a way to lose. They continue to give away the ball at really bad times. They also have a little bit of a hard time kind of mustering any sort of, offense, even though they had, a nice game last time out here in the running game. But they are 31st in the league in third down efficiency. But the defensive line, they've been pretty good this season. They've already had 11 sacks. So they may give a little bit of trouble here to Trevor Lawrence. But, I think because of that, they're going to be able to keep the Jaguars maybe off the field here a little bit. I'm still looking for an under total in this game.
Well, the move has definitely been to the under, I think, on that, Mindy. So, you know, me, I'm always quick to take an under here, but I'm not going to jump on this one just yet with you. In fact, I'm worried that it's gone down a little bit too far. So, I get it, but hey, Jacksonville's look pretty good. But I agree with what you said about the Texans. I think that. Look, that it's not been a great start, but they can put a little bit of heat on him. I like Mills, even though he's statistically not really getting much done either there. But, I just think too much respect, Crush. I think too much respect given to the Jaguars right now. And I'm going to end up on the Texans here in this one. I'm going to take Houston plus the 7. All right. Oh, well, the graphic's wrong, but let's start to talk about it, Mindy. I'll fix the graphic and show you that the Bills they're a 14-point favorite. Maybe it's gone. Yeah, it's pretty much 14 everywhere. I don't know how people can, bet against Kenny Pickett in this one. Obviously, the Steelers are going to go in and win this game against the Bills. Who are the Bills at this point to be favored by 2 touchdowns over anybody? What are they going to win the Super Bowl? Well, maybe they are. The Bills are great. We know that. But the Steelers, if anything, there's probably a lot of, good mojo going on right now. I think people are, there's going to be pressure on Pickett, but the vibes are positive anyway.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Kenny Pickett can do against the NFL's top-ranked pass defense.
Don't say it like that.
Right? I mean, what a horrible time here to get your feet wet. Buffalo already has 7 interceptions this year. I know that doesn't fall back on Kenny Pickett in particularly, but he did throw one last week too. And then you got Pittsburgh there 0-7 when TJ Watt doesn't play. They're still kind of, I think, going to be struggling. To me, I think it kind of looks, more one-sided. I don't know if it's a full, 14 point. Because of that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look to the under 46.5.
All right. I don't mind that look at all. I think I also like the under in the game. I think that it's still going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they'll, try to dictate the tempo a little, or at least try to run the game right. Last week, Bills look, maybe they can run this up. Maybe they'll take advantage of a rookie quarterback in there. That could be the case, but I'm going to agree with you. Let's go under 46.5. I think we've missed a little bit of maybe a point or so off of that opener. Let's see. Yeah, no, not too much really. A 47 or so. Maybe there was even a 48 out there, but yeah, let's go under in this one. That makes more sense to me. I think I'll probably end up on the Steelers with Crush. Crush said
I see the Bills turning the ball
Steelers.
over.
Yeah, he was saying Bills there at the end. You can see the Bulls the Bills turning it over any type. But I get it. And yeah, those interceptions, not Pickett's fault. One was a Hail Mary, I think, and one was another deep ball. So I liked on the Manning cast last week when Peyton Manning said he threw 60 interceptions in his career on Hail Marys.
Right.
So let's go under in Pittsburgh Buffalo and have ourselves a
That consensus
consensus play. All right, let's go to the NFC South. The Falcons and the Buccaneers going to be playing in this one. Tampa Bay, an 8.5-point favorite. Obviously, the Buccaneers. I guess there's some personal stuff surrounding the team. Certainly, I don't think that Tom's one to necessarily be too affected by it, and they're a big favorite here against Atlanta, but maybe a little bit of value, I guess, if you want to consider it value with Tampa Bay. Maybe they were a little bit bigger of a favorite, and the move has been on Atlanta.
Yeah, so Julio gets to go back and finally, hopefully, play against his old team. I think once Brady gets this receiving crew back to full strength, they're going to be pretty dangerous. I'm not sure if Godwin's in yet or not, but he's going to be pretty close here. And then they just placed Cordarrelle on the IL, so that kind of puts a little bit of a damper in that Atlanta offense. I mean, I think he's just so good. And the Atlanta defense, they're 25th in the NFL. And Brady is also 4-0 all time versus those Falcons. I kind of look for the Buccaneers to kind of put up maybe more of a little bit of a balanced offense, maybe try to run the ball here a little bit more. But I just think Tom Brady is going to show no mercy to these little Falcons. The total is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings in Tampa Bay. And the total is over in the last 5 for Atlanta. I'm going to go over the total of 48.5 in this one, Ramon.
All right, you got Tom to kind of light it up, it sounds like, with those receivers. Falcons. It was we talked about Patterson last week, and I was surprised when he was in there. I mean, we pretty much had him out of the game, but I think it was evident that he was not at full strength in the game. So out this week, that does affect it, and I think Tampa Bay might be able to get to double digits here against this one. I think this was the one where maybe the Falcons end up getting exposed a little bit. The total has gone up, so that worries me there as far as jumping on board with you. My original lean maybe was to the over, but maybe getting a little bit out of range for me now. I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win by double digits here against Atlanta, get healthy a little bit.
TB.
Thank you, Troy. Appreciate your comments. Mindy's bringing the fundamentals, and I'm just agreeing or disagreeing pretty much.
It's so not true, Ramon. You're one of the best handicappers we have on the site.
The Bears are going to be taking on the Vikings in a long time battle of two teams. These guys have been knocking heads for quite a long time. The Vikings here now, 7-point favorite, total 44 in the black and blue division.
I mean, the Bears, they're just putting up like zero offense. I don't know what to say. I mean, how are you going to win games with 150 yards? I mean, it's just bad. You would think that they could do some sort of scheme to get something going. I mean, these guys are professionals. It's one of those again. I mean, are the Bears going to hope they can get the Vikings off of some sort of jet lag, and then, Montgomery, he might not be able to go either. I don't know how the Bears can stop Jefferson at all. I like the Vikings -7.
Yeah, I don't want to lay 7 with you. I think they can do it. I think the Vikings will probably win right there by about 6 or 7 points, but
maybe a missed field goal or a missed extra point.
Will the Bears, like you said, I mean, can they get anything especially if they don't have any kind of rushing going in this one? So divisional game total's gone up a little bit. I don't like that. I like it to be, I have this one graded out lower. Uh, I had it at 42.5, so not a ton of, you say not a ton of value. Everyone, you probably, unless you really have a firm belief in a game, oh, this was going to be 60 points or let's be 32 point or whatever. Most people realistically should have their numbers falling pretty well in line to what the regular number is. So when I say I've got it at 42.5, I think that's a distinct advantage when a point and a half difference off the total. I'm going to go under 44 as my play in this one. Titans and Commanders. Well, it's kind of not exactly an attractive matchup necessarily, but there's some storylines, I guess, especially surrounding these quarterbacks. Wentz. Maybe this is the spot for the Commanders here. Mindy against the Titans. Titans favored on the road, 2.5, 43.
Yeah, I mean, Washington, they're having huge troubles on the offensive line, as most of the time Carson Wentz spends on the ground. And the Titans are also shutting down the run this season. The Titans are also very, very, very fast starters. So in their last two games, they've scored 3 touchdowns on their first, 3 possessions here.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for an over total here in this one as they do start fast, but they always tend to have Washington or let them get back in it. In the last, 7 games in this series, this game's only been won by by single digits. And that's why I think what we have here with this minus 2.5 spread. The Titans are being outscored 91-40. 91-40 in the second, third, and fourth quarters. So they do allow teams to get back in rather than shutting them down. So again, I'm going to go over the 43 here in this one.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to end up with the home dog here. I think this is the spot. I want a home dog. I want to go against Tannehill. You're right. I mean, I think the not Tan Tannehill, but I want to expand on your point a little bit where you talked about that streak. I think it actually is even longer. It goes back to last year. Talk about this year. They score on that first drive every time. I think that even goes back to last year. They always get off to a good start. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a sign of good quarterbacking, good coaching, but it's definitely impressive. There's no doubt about it. But for me, I'm going to just take it. I'm going to go with Wentz. I'm going to take these points at home. I think I've got the game rated closer to even. I want to give the Commanders a little bit of respect here, a little bit of my money here, I think. And I'm going to give them a shot as a home dog, getting some points. And that's what I'm most interested in. I'd I'd buy it up. I certainly would buy it up. I mean, no reason to take a 2.5 when you can take a 3 and pay a little juice on that. I'll take the Commanders in this one as my free play, taking those points at home with an NFL home dog. That's what I do.
And that's why he talked about Titans first half. So that very may well be a decent play just because they do get off to the fast starts and then they just allow teams to get back in. Not sure what happens there at halftime.
Yeah, Tennessee, they've seemed to specialize in letting teams into the back door as well. So. All right, an intriguing matchup, certainly, between the Dolphins and the Jets. Maybe some issues still surrounding the Jets a little bit, but the Dolphins have their share of concerns as well. 3-point favorite here on the road, total 46.
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins, they've won the last 8 of 9 versus the Jets. I know each of these teams are different from year to year, but this year the Dolphins are averaging the 6.86 yards per play on first down. And I don't really think it matters, who you have at quarterback. If you're running the right plays and you're doing what you need to do offensively on that line to give your quarterback time or to give your running backs, some freedom to run here. I'm not sure if that's going to make a difference when you have Teddy Bridgewater in or not. I mean, he's a guy that if you take a look at all quarterbacks that's had over 2,000 yards, passing. I want to say attempts. He's completed 66.4% of his passes, which is the second highest amongst active quarterbacks. Zach Wilson, on the other hand, he's sitting at 55%. I think the Dolphins and their 10th ranked third down efficient team, there's still going to be too much for this young Jets team. That still makes, too many crucial mistakes at the wrong time. I think that's just something that, it's going to take time to get over. I'm still taking the Dolphins here at -3.
Well, Teddy's in the club with kind of with Gino and Jimmy. I mean, he's one of the guys that you want to put your money on really when it goes to covering the spread. But I'm not going to necessarily jump on with you here just yet. I think that's the side I'm kind of looking at. But man, a home dog here as we get into the start to get into a few weeks in the season, another home dog, and I can get the Jets. And I don't know. They've showed a little bit of life. They've showed a little bit of heart. They do have some guys in the secondary that look like they can be, good players. But for me, that's why I'm going to go under 46 in the game, a divisional game, backup quarterback for Miami. Not that, Teddy's one of the best, and as far as backups concerned, most every team would take him, certainly. And Wilson, I've been down on him, but I'm going to give him a chance here. And Crush has got my back on this one a little bit, as I mentioned, but again, unders play. But I don't know. I might not be necessarily doing anything with the side in this one. Right now, I'm on the under. All right, my Chargers are going to go on the road, take on the Brownies. Everybody, talks about Herbert and how great he has looked through an injury, and now all signs are go. They say that his injury is really, healed up pretty nicely here, and going up against the Browns, and give credit to Brissett. Uh, right now, quarterback doing a good job at least. So Chargers favorite here on the road, 2.5 and 47.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns at home have just been really hard to stop. They have that second ranked rushing team in yards per game, fourth overall in total yardage this year, this year as well. I don't think the Chubb and Hunt rush attack is going to be easily stopped by this Chargers defense. They gave up 150 yards rushing, to the Texans. The Browns, they also get Myles Garrett back, so I mean, he gets to be focused on stopping, Herbert this game here too. I mean, that guy is, a beast, and so is, like you just talked about, so is Herbert. Still able to throw for 340 yards with, broken rib cartilage. Not too many folks are going to be able to do that. I just think they're going to, trade possessions. It's going to be touchdown versus touchdown and touchdown. Oh, and then another touchdown. So that makes me go over the total here today, Ramon.
Kind of want to agree with you because I have this one pinned out a little bit higher. I had it at 49.5 as my total. So why don't we do it? Why don't we go over in this one and take the over 47 as a consensus play? I lean toward the Browns. You may even find it on my card. I might not give it out as a premium without the 3. I'd prefer to, take the 3 points. Certainly, maybe buy it. But yeah, for me, I think the Chargers can get on track a little bit. The defense doesn't seem to travel as well for the Chargers. So let's go over 47. That seems like a pretty good price. You may have some 47.5s out there, but that's definitely juice to the under, I think, no matter what book you're looking at. So I think we can get on board with a 47. Thanks to Crush for all the picks today.
Yeah.
And also thank you to Brian for joining us as usual. Let me hear. We want to see more comments, though. Let's see more comments.
Yeah, so like Edwin got in today, a couple more folks. So keep it coming. It's more fun when you guys chat.
All right, the Lions are going to take on the Patriots. I hesitate to, call it the Patricia Bowl. That's dumb. But the Lions are just the most. I don't know. The Lions are the most. They're the most interesting team in the NFL. That's about all I can say about them right now. I think it's fair. They're fun. They might not be able to win many games, but I don't know. 80 points a game is more fun than 30 points in a game. So there's that. But the Patriots at home here, 3.5, total 46.
Yeah, and Zappy, I think, was the story of that Patriots Packers game. He had his team with a lead there late in the fourth quarter. And it's one of those like with Belichick, we're not going to know if Mac Jones is going to be in or not. I mean, he's a guy
I saw on Twitter. I don't know. Did you see, Mindy? They were showing the two guys, and
No,
they said that Zappy looks like Mac Jones.
A doppelganger?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. But I guess if you take a look, it probably is, right? I don't know. I think the Lions still might be missing St. Brown and Swift. They both did miss yesterday's practice. I mean, so this is going to kind of depend on if we get some of those stars kind of maybe back into this game. But that Lions defense has been, I don't know, pretty horrible, allowing 35 points a game, 440 yards per game there as well. I don't know. I think both these teams are probably going to come to play. I'm going to look for over the total here again, Ramon.
I think that's going to be a popular. Look, it's 46 right now. I'm going to show 45.5 juiced, and I think it might even go a little higher, right? Yeah, right. But maybe there's some sharp money keeping it down. Maybe it's crushed diamonds keeping it down.
That is true, right? Maybe so.
With that, I mean, I've had to adjust my number on it because I certainly thought it would be, I had it a little bit lower, but again, had to maybe adjust the number a little bit. I think the Patriots get right here, though. I think it sets up nicely for them. They need a big victory to show that they're still the Patriots, and we'll be talking about Belichick, Patricia, all that by the end of this one. I think the Patriots can win this one by a touchdown. I'm going to take New England against Detroit to smash them. No matter who's quarterback. Maybe I want Zappy in there right now, right? We know what he can do. All right, let's look at the NFL, the early games, right? We covered them all.
Yeah, and Mario said that he likes the Lions there, Ramon.
Oh, we had one more comment there. Let me see. Oh, maybe I just didn't
know what the
emoji, and I just missed it. So, likes the kitty cats.
Yeah, so we had for consensus, we had the Colts, Broncos under, Giants, Packers over, Steelers, Bills under, and then Chargers, Browns over.
Okay, so it looks like we got
ourselves a 3-pack, Ramon.
A 3-pack, yeah, that's doing it. That's getting it done, and we'll preview on Sunday. We'll be back with you on Sunday for those late games in the NFL. The 4 o'clock starts, the national TV window. That's when we'll cover the rest of the Sunday card. All right, we're going to move to college football now. If you've been joining us all week, you've been up to date with all of our picks, but you can go back on the YouTube channel and watch the morning steam. Also, the games get chopped up now individually. You can really just type in the two teams and the word Tony's picks. That's what I do when I want to see what I said.
Yeah, you could put in Tony's Picks the Morning Steam, and it gives the whole list
Yeah.
there as well. Yeah.
But for example, if you wanted, for example, we talked about Auburn, Georgia yesterday. I guarantee you, if you type in Auburn, Georgia morning steam, that'll be the top video that comes up. So if you want to see any game that we want our preview of any game, you don't want to look through all the videos. I think just type the two teams into the search and type morning steam, and you'll get our play in that game. If you got Tony's picks, you're going to get Tony's pick too on there, which is fine, but you'll probably see us right there as well. So,
Funny. It's fine if you watch Tony's videos. It's fine.
yes, absolutely. We want you to watch Tony's video. We want you to watch every video we're on here on the channel. Okay, let's get started. I hope I have the same order as you, but what we are doing is starting with games, if I'm not mistaken, Mindy, that start at 4 Eastern.
Yes.
1 Pacific time.
3 Central.
3 Central. You like how I always try to throw that in? So
I know. You make me feel better. Sitting here in the middle of the United States.
Included Mountain time. I'm sorry. You're always going to be forgotten, but we want to keep everybody in the loop. So let's start. I hope I get this one right. I'm going in.
This is what I started. We got it.
Yep, in order, in rotation order in time. So starting with Duke and Georgia Tech. We just have, I think, 6 games to look at here on the college card. We're saving some for Saturday so we can get a nice chunk of games in there to talk about on Saturday, because without baseball, well, there will be some baseball playoff games. We know that. So Duke and Georgia Tech. Duke here, 3.5-point favorite on the road, 54.5.
Yeah, but Duke, they've lost 6 out of their last 7 road games, while Tech has lost 5 of their last 6 home games. Duke is also 3-13 against the spread. Georgia Tech is 8-23 against the spread. So straight up, this is kind of a crazy game. Other than I think Duke might have the edge on the overall series here versus Georgia Tech. So I'm going to look at the total. The under is 4-1 in the Duke's last 5, and 6-1 to the under for those Yellow Jackets. So again, I don't really understand the line. It worries me. I mean, I think Duke is the better team here. So when things kind of don't make sense, I'm not going to touch that side, and I'm going to go with the total here. I'm going to take the under 54.5.
Yeah, that was an interesting stat you gave. Duke 3-13 against the spread on the road. That doesn't bode well. Georgia Tech, I mean, they stunned Pitt, right? They were 3 touchdown dogs. So obviously, we're not ready to write off. Georgia Tech's not going to be, totally improved, but that's a big win. And now they're playing Duke, which Duke can run for 200 yards if they so choose, and they will choose to, right? I mean, that's what Duke is going to do, I would think, in this game, is run the ball. So maybe you mentioned going under in the game. I don't know. I'm getting points at home with Georgia Tech coming off that big win. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trends going against Tech, but Duke has as many going back. The way you describe the game, you wonder if anybody was going to win.
Right.
But no, I think getting a few points at home now in conference, I think that's good enough for me. I know that Duke is going to be a pretty popular play this week with the touts, I think. But I'm going to take Georgia Tech here in this one. Ole Miss, big favorite here, going in to take on Vandy. Ole Miss 17, total 61.5.
Yeah, Ole Miss, they're coming off that narrow victory to Kentucky. Vandy coming off the bye week, where they got torn up versus Alabama, 55-3. I think the Rebels have the advantage in this series. They have the 7th ranked scoring defense this season. Vandy has trouble stopping anyone on defense here too, and I don't really see them being able to take care of this Ole Miss team. I think this one's going to be pretty one-sided. So I'm going to look to the under total of the 61.5 from
Well, yeah, you're definitely getting the best price there, I would think, Mindy. I mean, this thing opened 58 and a half or so, and maybe you even want to wait. I don't know. Maybe it'll go even higher, I would think, in this one. Look, Mississippi, they are 5-0, but the move is on Vandy. Mississippi opened like 19 or so. Now they're 17. That's got to be some sharp action to me. I think Vandy is going to be able to stay within this one. Anytime you get a total that's lower, I mean, this is still a pretty high total, but I want those points as the total goes lower. So for me, it's Vandy plus the point, plus the big points against Ole Miss here. Vandy 4 is a team that I think that in this one they can stay within probably 2 touchdowns. The fact that it's 17. I wish I was getting 19, but that's okay. I still want Vandy in this one. I'll play the move here and take Vandy.
Gotcha.
North Carolina at Miami of Florida. Pretty decent game here with Miami. 3.5-point favorite. Total 66.
Yeah, so I just don't know how this one here is gonna, play out here. Miami, they did have an extra week off because of that bye, so maybe they're gonna get everything, kind of figured out. I think this game's gonna come down to turnovers probably. But it's like with Miami, they can't expect to give up 3 and expect to win this game. Both of these teams can score, I think, pretty easily. North Carolina has been able to put up the points. I know Miami struggled here a little bit, versus like A&M, stuff like that. But then, I don't know. It's just been kind of a weird year for Miami, then losing to Middle Tennessee. But I just think there's not much here for defense. I think both of these teams can put up 500 yards of total offense. I'm going to look for over the total 66 here in this one.
All right, I'll do it. If you're calling for 1,000 yards, it's going to go over for sure. The series has gone over in 4 straight. Miami's gone over 5 of their last 6 at home. Look, I know Miami, you mentioned, they're off the back-to-back losses, but they did get a bye in there, right? So UNC just 2-10 against the spread off of a spread win. So I think they'll give it up here to Miami. Miami actually might end up rolling them. It's just so crazy with these teams. They could end up, getting a backdoor here. Let's go over to be sure. Let's go over 66. Let's go find a prop that we go over 1,000 yards total in the game.
It's got to be out there. It's got to be out there somewhere.
Gerardo's with me. We'll go over 1,000 yards in the game. Gerardo, find us a prop in this one. Set out west. Take a look at Washington at Arizona State. Huskies a 2-touchdown favorite here. Total 56.5.
Yeah. So, I think one of maybe the better Pac-12, showdowns here. Washington, they did wind up, digging themselves out of a hole they put themselves in versus UCLA. Penix and his offense ranks third in the country, averaged 41.6 yards per game. Arizona State, they've already played 3 top 10 ranked teams. They played Oklahoma State, Utah, USC, and they're 2-3 against the spread this season. Sun Devils, they're 104th in the country offensively. And then you have a Washington team only allowing, 3 yards per carry to their opponent. Washington is 1-3 against the spread in the last 14 meetings. I like the spot that Washington's in here. I don't mind the 2 touchdowns. I'm going to take them. Washington -14.
Well, you're laying a big price here. I mean, they were definitely a bit of a runaway favorite here for Washington. So that concerns me there. But look at that total for 56.5. I don't think that, they're going to be putting up that many points in this game. The 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone under. Look, I respect what you said about Washington and their powerful offense, but they are going on the road. Arizona State, they played that tough schedule. They have shown a little bit of heart. through this a little bit of adversity with the coaching change and everything. So to me, I'm going to go under 56 and a half. I've got this one way closer to 50, quite actually, Mindy. So give me the under in Washington ASU. Let's find a game we can agree. I know we have others this that we've already agreed to on Saturday. Not a big issue here on our consensus plays that everyone's here for.
Right.
Sure, right?
Right.
Western Kentucky. What is Zappy playing? Western Kentucky and UTSA. You got UTSA, the number one team, number one off. The Roadrunners. What can you say? They're playing with Acme footballs, I guess, and Western Kentucky is still Western Kentucky. So I guess there's going to be more than 1,000 yards here, Mindy, isn't there?
Right. I mean, like you said, right. Like you said, UTSA ranked first in FBS in passing offense. So it should be pretty wild. Western Kentucky just lost to Troy 35-27. UTSA, they rolled over Middle Tennessee 45-30. Roadrunners here hold a 2-1 advantage over this series and won last season 49-41. That would be 90 points. And then, Western Kentucky, they're no slouches either, right? They rank 6th through the air. So yeah, I'm not too scared of this 73. I'm going to take the over.
I'll do it with you. I'm scared. I know it's 73. I mean, I get it. We probably could have done better, but we're on the show right now and we got to deal with a 73. But UTSA has gone over by an average of 12 points. We know that, really Western Kentucky has a bad pass defense too. Don't forget. I mean, they can pass too. Look, Western Kentucky can probably hang in this game, I would think. I don't think UTSA, yes. I mean, they've been fun. They're exciting. They're looking great. But now you're laying a touchdown to a team where, the score obviously is going to be somewhere like, in the high 30s for both teams. I would think so. We'll go over 73. Figure somebody gets in the 40s here, and just a wild game. And don't sleep on this game, folks. I mean, there are a lot of games out there, but you better tune into some of this one for sure. This is if you look down the whole list of all the games, this probably is the game of the day, just because of the way the game should be played, tempo wise. The passing will be out of this world, and final score will probably be 10-7. But no chance. There's no chance. Unlike sometimes when the game doesn't live up to expectations, I would think this one will not fall short of expectations. Let's hope it goes over. We probably could have had a 70, but that's okay. That's okay. It's a free pick. It's a consensus play, and now it's a premium.
And again, once you get into October, these offenses, they hit the over 70 mark more often than not. It's when you're in the month of September that you kind of stay away from trying to hit any over 70 total. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I'm pretty excited.
Okay, well, you made me feel a little bit better about that. All right, and now let's get into a big one. I think, Mindy, is that?
I think it could be considered a big one.
Yeah. Still, I mean, it's always going to be still a big game, right? When Ohio State takes on Michigan State.
These two teams don't like each other at all.
No, I get it. And maybe this is too crazy, 27 points. I mean, I know Michigan State's got all sorts of issues right now, but let me hear your take. You are our Big Ten handicapper. You are the Midwest premier sports handicapper. So
yep, it's where I get to hang out with all of these state teams: Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State. So I mean, I look for Ohio State to remain unbeaten here in this matchup. I don't see Michigan State coming in with any sort of confidence on their 3-game losing skid. and then running up against the juggernaut here. I think that maybe their only hope is that they are playing at home, so maybe they can muster a little bit of offense. But when they're at home, they're 4-0 to the under. And I kind of see this one here kind of in a rout. So I'm going to go and take a look at the under total. In the last two matchups, Michigan State has not put up more than 9 points. And I'm not so sure that that's going to happen here again. Going under that 65, that gives me a lot of leeway with the Ohio State team.
Michigan State's pretty solid as far as the number. I mean, I know Michigan State's looking down, so maybe they can't get the number. But at 27, I might lean to them. They're still 7-1-2 to the number. Their last 10 at home. The under in this series, you talked about. Look, 6 of the last 7, and also Michigan State's gone under in their last 5 at home. 5 of the last 6 at home. I've got it at 62. So.
Oh, you do? That's a little bit higher than I thought. Okay.
Consensus.
Under 65. All right.
Yep. Consensus play. Yeah. You thought I might.
Just fine with me. 62
wins
all day long.
You're saying you thought my handicap would have it a little bit higher?
No, I thought maybe your handicap would have it a little bit lower. So I'm surprised you got as close to that total.
Okay.
I was thinking it might not be that high even. So, but I trust you. I trust it. And
yeah, again, I've got to pin it out that Ohio State, they could win this game by more than 20. My gut says still want to take Michigan State because realistically, conference game, I think, especially if it's a low score, it could end up, as a 3 touchdown game or so. And if that's the case, I mean,
I'm looking at something like a 48-10, something like that. I'm sitting at like 58. That's kind of where I was thinking, maybe not getting into the 60s, but no matter, even if you have it at 62, I like that, and that gives us a little bit of room with what a Michigan State team can do is what I'm figuring your handicap is working towards.
And we've seen Ohio State give a touchdown up, at the end with those big leads. So
that does happen.
We will take, but that would still leave us well under the total. So we'll go under there. All right. I think that's our look at another set of college football games, if I'm not mistaken, for Saturday. We'll return on Saturday, previewing the games from this point on the card. I think starting with
like 22 left or something like that.
Yeah, we'll start with 3:49, 3:50, the 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific games. When we come back on Saturday, we're dark on Friday. We talked about maybe having a tape show come on, but I think we'll get through the games. And Ramon's got to take care. He's got to go to a high school football game tonight. He's got to prepare a little bit. That's why I give myself.
Ramon is a sports writer in his other life.
That's why, I give myself the day off there. Tony teases me a little bit, but I dedicate a whole day to covering high school football in my area. So I kind of rest up and skip the show a little bit there. But I do got, Mindy, I know you're writing these down because I got some more NHL preseason picks for you. Where's Latifa? Because
is she here?
Had some winners again yesterday, and I've got 2 more for you again today. Forgive me if let me see. I'll pull up the lines. Forgive me if there's been movement because we still continue to see drastic movement in some of the NHL preseason games, and where some, like, you got Minnesota tonight laying $3 in a preseason game. I mean, how is that even possible? Right. But because of the philosophy of the Blackhawks or what's expected. So Ottawa here, I've got them at minus 150 on the screen. They're already up to minus $1.70. I'm not going to back down from it. I'm going to leave it up there. If you don't want to lay $1.70 in a preseason game, no problem. I get it. So let me give you a total here with the Lightning and the Panthers. I have it at under 6.5 there. It's already down to 6. So let's give it out at 6. Let's be fair to everyone. It is juiced to the over, so that's fine. And I'll correct the Senators play as well. Not giving you the best price, but what can I do? When I looked at it, that's what the price was. So I've got the Senators tonight on the road against the Habs, and take the Lightning and the Panthers to go under 6. We could have had it at 6.5, but there are 6 games in the NHL. And hey, I might have a premium for you on this light card. Also, in the NBA, where I was able to bring you home a premium winner yesterday, I'm going to go with Orlando and San Antonio. Let's check the lines on this one, see if they've moved at all in that. And 213 now is what we're laying there on the over. All right. Yep. Let's get our crew together as we say goodbye. Thank you for joining us, everybody on the morning steam. Appreciate all the viewership and appreciate you and your team over there, Mindy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for keeping us up to date on our morning steam picks. Take a look. Don't forget to head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20%. Let's look at the morning steam account, Mindy. You talk about 67% here over the last week. So we can go a little further. We talked about yesterday, but we maybe can look back at some other and just look at some wins over the last week. You know, we've covered them on every show, but you can see they're all there. And this also shows you how we document all of our plays over here at Tony's Picks. We enter them into the back end of the system. They are third-party graded, so there's nothing we can do. It's just like for us betting into a sports book.
Right.
And once the play is in, it's in, and it gets graded.
There's no delete, no nothing. You're in.
And you see Morning Steam right now, the top account, if you will, along with Collins. Good job, Collins, being up there as well. So you got the team here a little bit here in the Morning Steam. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. Get our Morning Steam consensus. If you missed the show, you don't want to go back and rewind the YouTube video, look through the YouTube videos. It's just like giving us a tip, Mindy said. If you subscribe to the plays for a day, we'll put up a package there, and I think we'll have one game tonight. I know. So, hey, if you don't want to, pay $25 for it, or maybe Mindy will charge $15 for it, since we already gave it out, Mindy. Colts, Broncos, under 42 tonight. That's our premium play, if you will, our consensus play. So it's free. Don't go over. Don't buy it unless you want to throw us a little tip, and you could do that for us. We'd appreciate it. We love it.
Yep. And then we had our 3 consensus. We'll recap real quick for college football. It was North Carolina, Miami over, Western Kentucky, UTSA over, Ohio State, Michigan State under. Those were our consensus.
Wow.
So you will see those in a 3-pack on the site for Saturday afternoon.
That sounds perfect. In fact, wow. I mean, I was worried we were going to have, but we ended up with a 3-pack right there and doing 6 games. So
I know, right?
Let's stay hot. I mean, if we agree, we agree. We're not going to back down at this point with our consensus plays. So thanks for joining us, everybody, here on the Morning Steam. We're back again on Saturday, 9 Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. We'll also be taking a look at those Major League Baseball games, Game 2. Make sure you check out Tony's videos for the opening games. They'll be coming out. I'm sure Ben will have some too. I'll try. I don't know. I've got, my busy time coming up of the week. So I will have premiums, though. I might even come in maybe on all. I like the game. I like the games. I feel good about the baseball games, ready to have a strong postseason. After I, kind of fumbled around a little bit end of the regular season after challenging on the leaderboard. But I'm going to get it back right here in the postseason. So, all right, good job, Mindy. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Appreciate the viewers. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. And for
this is Whitney. She's getting a haircut today, so she'll look super cute tomorrow.
I may get 1 or 2 cut myself. All right. Thanks a lot, Mindy. We'll see you on Saturday. Thanks a lot for the Morning Steam. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.